Alright, let's see if I can do it this time. Okay, here we go. Hey YouTube, 19 Bigfoot 85 here. Some of you may remember. Hold on a second. Don't pay attention to the TV. Fixing the light. My lamp. But if you may remember, a few months back, I put up a video of a SNES review, but I wasn't too proud of it, so I decided to redo it. This time I'm not going to do it in my room, I'm doing it in the living room where it's a little brighter. Sorry. Go ahead and do the SNES review again. Alright. Woohoo! No confetti, sorry. Anyway, starting out this one. This is a Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Came out on August 13th, 1991. Came out about a year before in Japan under the name Super Famicom, as it was the second of the Famicom line. And over here, SNES, because it was the second of the Nintendo Entertainment System line. Dang, I can't remember. So this actually came out before I was even born. I was born in '93. So this came out before I was born. But I did have one of these when I was growing up, and it was my favorite system, my preferred system of choice to play any game on. Except for some that were only on Genesis, then I'd play the Genesis, which I did have too. I think you've seen that one too. Anyway, let's get on with it. Take a look at the system. You have your basic power, and if you notice in the camera, these may look blue, but they're not blue. They're actually purple. I don't know where they came up with the purple concept, but you gotta deal with it, unless you know how to repaint them good. But of course, you got your basic power, reset, and your eject lever, which they got that from the Famicom and the Super Famicom in Japan. But usually, reset button's pressing. This one's a slider, and it feels a little flimsy at first. Power button feels solid. Of course, it feels loose because there's nothing in it. Super NES badge, Nintendo badge up here in the corner, and your cartridge port, 60 pin, I think. Or maybe 62 pin, I think. Anyway. Front of the system, you have your power light, your controller ports, which are 7 ports, just like the NES, but they're just configured differently. And the controller ports look like these. It's got the 7-pin connector on it. See, with this one, you just plug it in, and then if you want to put it in the player 2, all you do is flip it over, and then you can have 2 players. But yeah, size of the system, nothing too exciting. Back to the system, you have the little installation, maintenance, and service Nintendo Office Repair Center sticker with the phone number is still intact. Sometimes you'll find one doesn't have it. It's been torn out by little kids or something. Your multi-out, which is actually the AV out, and for those of you who do not know this. Those of you who are watching this, if you own a GameCube or an N64, its AV cables will plug into this port because it's the exact same. And you have your basic RF port, which you can actually use the old NES RF box, channel 3 and 4 select switch, and your AC adapter, which it is a lot different than the older AC adapter. On the bottom of the system, pretty clean down here. You get your Super NES control deck, model number SNES 001, has your power rating, used with AC adapter number SNES 002 only, patents made in Japan, rubber feet so it won't slide all over the place, and these weird security screws, which they look like the same kind of screws that they use on the cartridges, the 3.8mm security bits. FCC ID, UPC code. But over here, this one has an expansion port. But here's the expansion port. It was used with two things, or made for two things. One was the sorry about that. The rumored, or the planned SNES CD-ROM expansion. That was what it was originally made for. But it also worked with the Bandai Satellaview, which was a 90s version of downloading games. There were some games like let's see, there was one called BS Excitebike, and it was Excitebike but used Mario characters. But it's Bandai Satellaview. It was not used very long. It was discontinued quickly. Plug back in. Alright, that's in. That's done. I'm not sure what this little thread right there's for. Maybe that was for screwing something in. More than likely. But again, because a Nintendo games you'd expect were, of course, you know, you had your continuations of your childhood. Hold on. Hello. I'll sit here right now. See you want. Yes. Yes. Karen. Hold on. Alright. Don't do that. Okay. Wow. Yeah. I'm truly sorry about that, but God, one of my mom's friends called, and well, I'm sorry. What can you do? But of course, you had your sequel to Super Mario 3, which was in Japan actually called Super Mario Bros. 4, Super Mario World. Of course, you were gonna have arcade ports, the Space Invaders, remakes of NES games like Tetris 2, compilations like the Super Mario All-Stars, Super Mario World compilation, and of course you're gonna have arcade ports, like I said, Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and again, look, they all come out with the eject port. And some of my favorites: Mortal Kombat, which sucks on the SNES. MK2, the greatest, possibly one of the greatest home ports of the game. MK2, MK3, and again, like I said, even new games like Super Star Wars, which allowed you to basically play through the entire movie. Again, new games. Donkey Kong Country, considered by many to be one of the greatest games on the system. This game gave the system a second breath of life. And again, continuations of childhood favorites from the NES. What's those? There it is. Sequel to, I guess it'd be a sequel to Double Dragon 3. No, that's a sequel to Double Dragon 4 called Super Double Dragon. It was called Return of Double Dragon over in Japan. Now, it's a good game. And like I said, this one was actually called Super Mario Collection over in Japan. Now, one of the last things I'm going to show you is the controllers. This is the basic. This is the controller. Got your D-pad, select and start, and your A, B, X, Y buttons. And this, Nintendo actually started the shoulder button concept, and this is a very comfortable controller. Yeah, but Nowadays, if you like go to try to go on eBay to find the controllers, you'll mostly find these. These are little rip-off controllers, or third-party controllers. They're not very good. See, it sounds like it's. Doesn't sound very solid. It sounds just so cheap. But lastly, this system has just brought me so many great memories of gaming in my childhood, kindergarten, first, second grade, all the way up to about fourth grade when my butt sold it. But you know, that's about all I got to say about it. But I'll see you next time. 19 Bigfoot 85. I'll see you later.